Okay. Good morning to all my dear students. In our last class, we were in Unit 2 only, wherein we were studying the second part, that is Part B of Unit 2. The Part A of Unit 2 was titled as Fundamental Rights. And yesterday, we spoke about directive principles of state policy. Students, when I was explaining your directive principles of state policy, what did I tell you? I explained you that they are the obligations, they are the responsibilities, these are the directions, these are considered to be the principles which has to be performed or which has to be perceived by the state. And very, very importantly, these directive principles of state policy are incorporated in Part 4 of the Constitution. Students, when I speak about DPSP, that stands for Directive Principles of State Policy, these are the directions, these are the guidelines, these are the aims, these are the objectives which are given to the state government. When I speak about the state government, it includes the state government as well as the central government, with a sole intention, with a sole objective that there should be an establishment of a fair and a just society. When I speak about fair and just society in a country, it clearly means that there should be a welfare state. So when I speak about the term welfare state, students, I explained you all a state where there is better social being, where there is good economical status, and each and every individual gets fair justice. No one is deprived of his and her rights. So, students, when I speak about directive principles of state policy, you can say that these provide guidelines to the state. How should be the working of the government? They help the citizens of the country to keep a check on the government, whether they are following the rules, they are following the principles which are stated by the constitutional framers. So, in short, when I speak about directive principles of state policy, students, they are the objectives. They are considered to be the guidelines. Okay. Now, let us start with our topic. Yesterday, we spoke about characteristics of directive principles of state policy. We also spoke about the importance and nature of directive principles of state policy. And today we are going to study the different articles which are stated under directive principles of state policy. Students, when I was explaining y'all the fundamental rights, okay, at that point also you had different articles which were stated under fundamental rights. In the same way, even under the category of directive principles of state policy, you have different articles to be studied. But those articles were dealing in detail. This you should just understand the heading and what is the intention of the framers for constituting or incorporating such articles. Okay, we will study each article one by one. It is very easy, and you have to just understand what is the objective of the constitutional framers to incorporate such article under the category of directive principles of state policy. Students, when I was speaking about fundamental rights, they were categorized under Part 3 of the Constitution. When I'm speaking about directive principles of state policy, they are categorized under Part 4 of the Constitution. Okay, this was the introduction and the glimpse of my previous class. Fine. Now let us move wherein we are going to understand the different articles. Okay. Students, in all, there are 16 articles to be studied under directive principles of state policy. So let us study each one by one. First article starts from Article 38. Now, when I speak about Article 38, it says that, or it states that the state to secure a social order for the promotion of welfare of the people. Now, I will explain you all this article in simple language. Now, first of all, you should understand that when I speak about state, it includes the state government and it also includes the central government. Now, students, when I speak about Article 38, it says that the state has to take efforts. The state has to strive wherein they should promote welfare of the people. Now, how can they promote welfare of the people? They can promote welfare of the people wherein they can secure them or they can guarantee them a social order. Now, when I speak about social order, it means that a social order which is given to the people or which is guaranteed to the people, wherein each and every individual will get fair and equitable justice. Fair and equitable justice means what? Everyone will be treated equally. Secondly, when I speak about fair justice, it means that nobody will be deprived of their own human rights. And when I speak about social order, the state shall guarantee to each and every citizen that they will get justice. And when I speak about justice, they will get justice in the form of social justice. They will get justice in the form of economical justice. They will get political justice. And they will try to minimize or strive out, means completely eliminate or rule out the inequalities which are happening in the particular country or in particular state. So when I speak about this thing, that state to secure a social order, means when I speak about the state, it includes the central government as well as state government. The state shall guarantee each and every citizen a social order wherein they will try to protect them by giving fair and equitable justice. Now, how can you give fair and equitable justice? You can give individuals or the citizens of the country fair and equitable justice wherein you can strive out or totally minimize the inequalities in the form of income which are already happening in our country. Try to eliminate inequality of status wherein some few people are considered to be a high ordered status people. Some people are regarded to be a lower class or lower order status people. Nobody should be judged according to the earning of an individual. When I speak about a welfare state, the country should see to it that there are equal facilities, you can say equal opportunities, which are given to all the individuals. There is no favoritism, there is no special privilege given to any citizen. And when I speak about Article 38, it says that Now, just by telling that everybody should be treated equally, it won't work. So, what happens? This article clearly mentions that the state has to be secured with a social order. The state has to be guaranteed, or the state should guarantee the citizens that there will be a social order wherein the state's objective will be only for the promotion of welfare of the people. And when I speak about welfare of the people, it means that each and everyone will get equal justice. Each and every citizen will get economical justice, political justice, social justice. There will be equal opportunities, equal, what to say, facilities which will be given to each and every citizen. By this, they will help to promote and secure welfarism or welfare, or a country can be stated as a welfare state. Okay, this is the intention of incorporating Article 38 in the Directive Principles of State Policy. Is this clear? Now, let's move to the next article. Students, when I speak about Article 39, okay, this Article 39 is also related or interrelated to Article 38. Now, what does Article 39 states? Article 39 states that there should be certain principles of the policy that should be followed by the state. Somewhat it is same. In last article also we said that there should be a social order which has to be followed by the state. In Article 39, what are we saying? There are certain principles, there are certain directions, there are certain guidelines which has to be followed compulsorily by the state. Now, when I speak about certain principles, what does it include? When I speak about certain principles that has to be followed by the state, it means that the state shall direct or frame certain policies wherein they will secure all the citizens of the country. Now, how will they secure all the citizens of the country? They will see to it that the citizens of our country, which includes both men as well as women, all will be treated equally. The men as well as women in our country shall have a right to livelihood. Livelihood means to right to earn, right to earning for their own living. Nobody can deprive this right of a citizen, whether you're men, whether you're women. Just on the basis that you are men, the state cannot say that you are the head of the family or you are the bread earner, so your wife is not allowed to do so. No. If the person is being deprived, they can go in the court of law and file a case, wherein this article states that each and every citizen, whether you are a male, whether you're a female, equal status, equal opportunities should be given for both. At the same time, both should have equal means of livelihood. Wherein, when I speak about equal means of livelihood, means equal earning. Nobody should deprive any citizen from that particular right. This is the principle which has to be followed by the state. Next principle states that, see, there are ownership of different resources or materials in our country. Okay. This should be equally distributed among all the members of the society. Okay. Now, when I speak about students that men and women should be treated equally, everybody has a right of livelihood. So what happens is there is an economic system which is built wherein each and every citizen will strive to earn his or her livelihood or living, right, for living. But when every citizen is working towards earning for their living, it should not result in concentration of wealth. When I speak about concentration of wealth, only the wealth should not be concentrated to certain class of people, or you can say the wealth should not be concentrated only to a group of individuals. It has to be equally distributed, or at least wherein the distribution of income should be such that there should be equal pay for equal work. How much efforts you put in, that much pay you will get. This principle should apply to both. This principle should apply to women. This principle should apply to men also. So, when I speak about concentration of wealth, even though if you're working, if you're not getting pay, means you're deprived of your right. But the state or the country should follow a principle wherein you have equal pay for, or equal pay for equal work. How much are you working? How many hours are you working? How is your capacity or ability of working? That much inversely related, you should get that much pay. Okay, so by this, what will happen? By this, there will be no concentration of wealth. Okay, there will be no division of classes, wherein you can say upper class, lower class, wherein you will have proper division of the economic system which shall be prevailing in the country. Next, when I speak about one more principle which has to be followed by the state, or one more guideline, or one more direction which has to be followed by the state, it means that the state shall or should take proper care about the health measures, about the strength of the workers. Now, when I speak about health and also the strength of workers, it includes both, or this privilege is given to both men as well as women. And under this category also, we have children, because in some of the places in our country, we find children working in maybe factories, maybe in some hotels, etc. Even though there is child labor, which is banned, but what happens is you can see children working. So, what has happened is the state shall not force its citizen, wherein they shall guarantee, or they shall secure the citizens by providing good safety measures, should good healthy measures, and secure all the citizens of a country minimum means of livelihood. Now, when I speak about such principles, students, in short, the aim of every state should be that each and every citizen shall get equal status. When I speak about equal status, it includes equal status for men as well as women. Now, when I speak about children, students, every children or every child in our country should get adequate opportunities. This is also one of the important guidelines which says that there the opportunities should be categorized into a very healthy manner, fair manner. Nobody should be considered as a privileged child or a favorite child. Every child or the children should be treated equally. Everyone should have conditions of freedom. Every child should have a proper dignity, and especially, very importantly, the state should secure the citizens of the country from being exploited by the laborers or any other person. There should be no exploitation that should happen in the country. So, these are the different principles which are followed under Article 39. When I speak about Article 39, students, once more I'm repeating, the state has to adopt certain principles, and once they're adopting, they also have to stick over those principles. Now, what are those principles? When I speak about the principles under 39, Article 39, It clearly states that the men and women both should be treated equally. There should be equal status given to both men and women. There should be adequate means of livelihood, wherein I say that there should be adequate means of earning. Next, when they are earning, there is earning of, or there is a formation or operation of economic system which is prevailing in our country. So when there is economic system which is prevailing in our country, there might be chances wherein that may result in a concentration of power. So what the state should do, it cannot equally distribute the amount of wealth. So what they should do is they should follow a principle. If the male and female are working, they should follow a principle wherein there is equal pay for equal work. How much work they are putting, that much efforts they are putting, that much pay they should get. The state should also see to it that proper healthy measures are being taken, proper safety is being regarded to each and every citizen, and also see to it that, very importantly, the children are not exploited, or not only children, any citizen of the country is not being exploited. Even the children in our country should have a right to freedom and right of dignity. Okay, so let's move to the next part of the same article. Students, we are in Article 39 only, wherein we are studying the sub-article which says that Article 39 sub-article A. Okay, now what it says, let's understand. It says that there should be equal justice which has to be provided by the state, and very importantly, there should be free legal aid. Equal justice means, students, when I speak about the term equal justice, each and every citizen shall get fair justice. You belong to any community, you belong to any religion, you belong to any gender, you're skilled or you're unskilled, whether you're literate or illiterate, it does not matter, it is immaterial. Each and every citizen in our country should get equal justice. Now, what the state should do? The state should secure all its citizens, wherein the state should frame a system. Which system? A legal system, wherein that system should promote justice. Now, when I speak about justice, there should be fair and equitable justice. Nobody should be treated as favorite or privileged. Okay? Now, when I speak about equal justice, it means that there should be equal opportunities. Again, I'm repeating the same thing. There should be equal opportunities. There should be equal facilities which should be given to men and women. Okay, nobody should be treated as privileged, whether you belong to any caste category, or you can say a particular community, or you're inherited by some qualities, etc. Nobody should get any sort of favoritism. Next part of the same article, see, I'm repeating it again. Article 39 Part A speaks about equal justice. When I'm speaking about equal justice, students, it clearly states that all the citizens in our country should get fair and equitable justice, which means that all should be treated equally. There should be no inequalities in our country. And the subdivision of the next part speaks about free legal aid. Now, free legal aid means what? Free legal aid means help, in simple words. Aid means assistance. Aid means support. Now, when I speak about Article 39, it says that, see, now when how free legal aid is interrelated to justice, I'll tell you. See, there are some citizens in our country, even though even though they are being exploited, even though they are being deprived of their rights, or they have no sufficient means of livelihood, they are ill treated, they are immorally treated. But what happens is they cannot afford, they do not have sufficient means wherein they can go and file a case in the court of law. So, what our constitution has done, our constitution has framed a directive principle of state policy under Article 39, which clearly states that each and every citizen should be given or should be secured with justice, and there should be no citizen who shall be denied of justice. Denied means you cannot, the state cannot say that just because you do not have sufficient means, economic means, you will not get justice or you will be deprived of justice. No, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, every citizen has a right to get justice. So they have included this term as free legal aid. If you do not have sufficient means, the country tries to build a legal system wherein it provides free legal aid, it provides free legal assistance. You need not pay any fees, you are free from doing so. But if your right has been exploited, you have every right to go to the court and file a case against it. So, why it is interrelated? It is based on this principle saying that there should be equal justice. And how can you get equal justice? You can get equal justice when all the people in the country are treated equally. Now, if you do not have sufficient means, that means that you are considered as a lower class or lower people, wherein you will not have sufficient economic means. And if I say that there is equal justice, and if there is no free legal aid provided at that point of time, there will be injustice which will be caused. And hence, Article 39 says that there should be free legal justice or free legal aid that has to be provided to each and every citizens of the country. Okay? Now, okay. So let us move with the next article. These are very small articles after this. Okay. Now, Article 40. Students, when I speak about Article 40, it says that organization of village panchayats. Okay. Now, you must be knowing about village panchayats. We have many students who belong from villages. Okay. We have many n number of villages which are prevailing with a beautiful culture in our country. So, what the country says that when I speak about this article, which states that there should be proper organization of village panchayats. Students, earlier this article was not being incorporated in the directive principles of state policy. But with due amendment, this article has been included, which says that now what do you mean by organization of village panchayats? It means that the state has to take necessary steps. The state has to frame or form village panchayats. And just forming is not important. The state, which includes the state government as well as central government, should empower these panchayats and should give them certain powers, should give them some authorities to take decisions, and they should decentralize their power. See, what is centralization? Centralization, according to management terms, it means the authority is completely centralized to only one person. Okay, one person. Now, when I speak about centralization, we have a central government where all the authorities are be centralized. Now, what do you mean by decentralization? Decentralization means division. You are dividing the authority. You solely are not maintaining it. When you are dividing, no doubt you are working for the same authority, but there is proper diffusion, there is proper division of work which is taking place. So, what the state should do? The state should divide its powers, because you cannot have a mastery over all the places of the country. So, what the government has done, the government has decentralized their power. First of all, there is central government, there is state government, then there are different districts, and there are different villages. So, what the state should do, the state should frame or it should set up different village panchayats, okay, wherein they should give power and authority to this village panchayat to see to the working of the villages. Okay, now if the people of the villages have some several issues or have some problems, or if the people in the village are being deprived of their rights, see, instead of going to the central government or state government wherein there is lots of formalities to be completed, they can go and approach the village panchayats wherein they can talk about their problems, they can try to resolve their problems, and this village panchayats are being governed by the rights and authorities of the state government, and they can take decisions wherein each and every person belonging to any part of the territory of our country will get justice. Okay, so what this article states, it is very simple. This article states that there should be village panchayats which shall be framed wherein there should be division of power, wherein each and every citizen shall have rights. Nobody will be deprived. So instead of going and consulting the higher authority, wherein it will take lots of time, efforts, the people of villages can go and approach to the village panchayats. Very simple. Okay. Wherein all the people of the country will be secured. Fine. Next. The next article speaks about Article 41. Article 41 states that there should be right to work. Okay, every citizen should have a right to work. Every citizen should have a right to education. Every citizen should have public assistance in certain cases. Now, students, when I speak about Article 41, see, it says that the state shall take efforts, or you can say the state shall give several provisions wherein each and every person will have a right to work in whichever field. Okay, maybe now you know the structure of Indian economy. The structure of Indian economy is classified into three. Just I'm giving you something education, something out of the box. Okay, the structure of Indian economy is classified into three categories, which is called as primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector. Students, when I speak about primary sector, it includes agriculture and allied activities. Allied activities means related activities. When I speak about the secondary sector, it includes all the manufacturing industries, right? When I speak about manufacturing industries, it includes small scale industries, medium scale industries, large scale industries, right? Now, when I speak about the third type of sector, which is called as tertiary sector, it includes all the service industries, wherein services are being provided. I can give you example of hotel industries, right? Tourism. I can give you example of education sector. All these are categorized under the category of service sector. So when I speak about Article 41, it clearly states that every citizen belonging to any category, irrespective of your caste, creed, religion, gender, sex, etc., has a right to vote, or has a right to work, has a right to education, has a right to be educated, has a right to work in any sector. You work in primary sector, you work in secondary sector, you work in tertiary sector. Whether you are literate, whether you are illiterate, whether you're professional, whether you're not professional, anything is okay. But every citizen has a right to work in whichever sector, and nobody can deprive you this right. Same goes with that of education. Every citizen in our country has a right to be educated. No one can deprive you of this right. Now, when I speak about public assistance, it means that now public assistance means what? Public help, public aid. But this provision is only restrictive in some cases. Now, which cases? Now, when you will get public help or public assistance, only in several cases, wherein the case is related to some sort of sickness, okay, some sort of disablement. That means that, see, I can give you an example, okay. Now, in employment, you'll have seen students, there is a specialized category, or even you can say in some side, not in your education sector, but you can say when you're pursuing professional courses, no, you have a category, specialized category for disabled people. You have a category for underprivileged people, right? So what happens is these privileges, these provisions are certainly given by the state of the state, okay, wherein they are securing the citizens of the country who are sick, who are disabled. You know, there is a special category for handicaps, right? So this is a provision wherein only assistance or help is given in certain cases. Okay, next. When I speak about Article 42, students, I'm starting with the next article. Just you have to, by this title only, you will understand this rights. Okay. Article 42 speaks about provision for just and humane conditions of work and maternity relief. Students, when I speak about provision for just and human conditions, it means same thing, that the state shall provide fair, that is just, human conditions, that is humane conditions means good working conditions for the people working in any sector, maybe primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, any sort of sector, okay. And they will not be ill treated during their work which they are carrying out. They will not be exploited. They will be secured. There are different labor laws, okay? There are different rules relating to employment. So, in such way, they will be secured. And for the women, they will get maternity relief. See, when I speak about maternity relief, students, it is specially given to women who bears a child or who is carrying a child, okay, and this maternity relief is being secured or is given or is guaranteed to women living in the territory of our country. And very importantly, when I speak about maternity relief, the government has now extended the period. Earlier, it was 3 months, and now you can claim maternity relief for 6 months. Now, when you're claiming this maternity relief, also, students, the government, when at the initial stage of your pregnancy, will secure you if you're working in manufacturing sector or agricultural sector, and if you're carrying some loads, or if you are indulging in some hazardous or dangerous activities at that point of time, during those period you can take relief, okay. So this is the way wherein the state government is guaranteeing each citizen just and fair conditions of working. Now, when I speak about Article 43, Now, when I speak about Article 43, students, it states that, just 1 minute, okay? Okay. When I speak about Article 43, I feel we should continue this article in our next class. Okay. With this, I conclude my today's class. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.